What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another deck profile here on TCG University for the card game UniVersus. My name's Tam, and today I'm going to be going over Michael's Raphael deck, Raphael 2 Dot from the DLC from Soul Calibur. So, if you like this deck, make sure to check out all the matches from the DLC or Soul Calibur DLC playlist here out on the channel. With that, let's jump into it. All right, so Raphael 2 Dot, he lost the air symbol, gained the evil symbol. So, for anybody who hasn't seen one of my UniVersus deck profiles, basically the way that I do this is, as opposed to reading out each and every card verbatim, word for word, I take and give you a little bit of the elevator pitch for how the deck wants to work. And so, what does Raphael want to do? Raphael's fairly simply, he wants to play a bunch of cards for free, a bunch of cards very cheaply, flipping a foundation. The next card you attempt to play does not count towards progressive if you got a copy of it in your card pool. And then twice per turn, every time that my opponent passes, you get an extra speed. And so I just make two things unblockable, and then I play a bunch of stuff for free as long as I got an okay lucky hand. So Raphael is really, really strong. I've only ever built a couple of evil builds underneath him, and then Michael followed suit with also another evil build. So let's just jump into the profile. So, the main kill card that I want here is Death Lord's Impalement. This card says that it is a Desperation 3. It's the theme of the deck. We're playing a bunch of Desperation cards, and it's one of the main kill cards. Lose 2 Vitality. This attack gains a damage bonus equal to the Vitality that we've lost this enhanced step. And then Desperation Enhanced attack gains a speed bonus equal to the Vitality that is lost during this enhanced step. And so, this thing gets really, really big with damage-wise with its ability and losing much of life off of cards that we have, and then Raphael's ability make sure that it goes through even if we're not inside of Desperation. A lot of reasons this card is not super playable is the Desperation enhance has to be active, and so losing 6 Vitality inside of this, giving this thing plus 6 damage, that's fine, but it's still a 3 mid. But losing 6 Vitality and giving it an extra 6 speed with Raphael means that maybe that's the thing that's going to kill them. The next major attack that we play, or I'm going to scoot these over just a smidge. The next major attack that we play is from Hell. This is the coolest card inside of Raphael because of his twice per turn. This card says that if it's not blocked, destroy one of my opponent's foundations, and they'll burn X for the printed control, which is either going to be like 5 or 6, right? And so with From Hell, any momentum that I've gotten goes underneath Raphael, gives it the EX, but then every time my opponent passes, I get to do a bunch of stuff. I've got a bunch of free enhances that we'll talk about here in order to push through and make my attacks hit really, really hard because of how fast they are. And so doing an 11 damage attack that is virtually unblockable. And let's say I've got 4 of these, right? I'm in Desperation. They're on Desperation 4s. If I got 4 foundations and 4 of these in my hand, I just get to play all 4 of these on 4s. They never push and count towards, count towards progressive just because of how the deck works. Up next, we've got triple Vicious Madness. It's just really strong to open up your turn with a Vicious Madness, play a couple really cool cards, make them hate, make them suffer, and then when they're at 4 or less, you just flip a foundation with Raphael and then play another one at the very end of your chain. Really, really strong card to start and then end your chain with, as well as it just loses 2 more vitality, can't be partially blocked. You can give it a bunch of extra speed with Raphael. Solid option when it comes to evil throws. We're playing Double Takedown. This card is a really good use for Raphael's once or twice per turn, giving this thing just a bunch of extra speed, saying that you just get to pick up an additional attack as a 7 hand size character is just really strong. Turning from 7 into 8, one of them being 2 attacks, pretty good. Up next, we're playing 4 Minion Grab. Minion Grab is a combo extender, and it's got 2 abilities on it, so Raphael gets to maybe get an additional 2 speed, and it's really, really relevant because of our main foundation in the deck. And it also says that my next one gets even bigger. And so being able to like minion grab, my next one doesn't. My next one gets -2 to its desperation rating. Flip a foundation for this. Play the From Hell at the very end on a 2 diff because I've got 4 cards in my card pool. The first one having been From Hell, and now the last one being From Hell. This is just a bunch of value that we can get out of making this last From Hell on a 2. It's just an absolute ton of value. And then my last attack is just Syndicate Slice. This card's just a value card. I'll never use my twice per turn on it unless they're at 4 or less life. It's got 2 extra enhances on it just to Maybe give it a little bit more speed, but it's just a value card. Hey, block this so you don't block something else, or if you do block this, or if you don't block this, it's a momentum, so my From Hells are going to hit harder. It's just value. Up next, I want to talk about the support cards of the deck. We're talking about 3 Revoke. This card just says either build a little extra or stop one of my discard a card to stop one of my opponent's things. Discarding a card is playing it out of your hand. You know, we got a block from our hand. This card doesn't have one. Playing 1 Spell Circle. This is really important because we're all ending on this From Hell game plan, and just once per turn, discard a card for +3 speed, not including Raphael's plus speed, is just good enough. We don't have the Void symbol. Excuse me, we don't have the Void symbol, so we don't get to discard a card out of their hand, but that's okay. It doesn't matter how many cards they have in their hand because they're not going to be blocking anyways. On the assets, we've got 2 United Kingdom of Smash. Really, really rad picture because of the new IP we're getting. But just commit, this thing gets 2 speed or 2 damage, add a foundation from your staging area to your hand. It's really, really strong whenever you get to add back up a Revoke that you built on turn 1 and give your thing 2 speed. Really good synergy, and then lose 2, draw an additional card. There's just a ton of advantage happening here. The most important foundation inside of the deck is Confronting Jedah. Enhance. This deck gets plus speed or minus speed, or plus damage or minus damage, excuse me. The difference between its printed speed and its current speed. And so, fun fact about Raphael, he actually says this attack gets +1 for every time that my opponent passes. And so, if I've just got a bunch of useless enhances, I can give my opponent's attack +6, +7 damage, and then with Confronting Jedah it back down to whatever it is. Really gnarly piece for him. Playable under 2 symbols. This is going to be the bread and butter. We're trying at 3 of. It might end up going up to 4 just because of how important it is to see this card as early as possible. So up next, we've got just we're trying to Confronting Jedah and kill them with a big one-shot, whether it be the Deathlord's Impalement or the From Hell. And so, or honestly, any other attack that we have, this card turns every attack super, super scary. And so the goal of the next section of cards is how many free enhances can I play? How many times can I just enhance so that my opponent passes and I get an extra speed? That's an extra damage off of Confronting Jedah. So we're playing 3 blood for blood. It says lose 2 vitality. If it's blocked, they lose 2. And so lose 2 vitality. If it's blocked, they lose 2. And then +1 speed if they pass. We're playing 2 Prelude. It has 2 enhances on itself. Discard a momentum, unflip 2 things, which might mean 2 more enhances that we can play, as well as enhance if you have flipped a foundation this turn, which we probably have because of Raphael. It gets an additional damage. Even if we haven't, we can still just enhance colon, and then it's just one more instance where my attack might just get an extra speed. Playing Double Toasty just says enhance flip if the attack gets damage equal to his desperation rating. It's just like, hey, flip for more damage, and then I can unflip it, and then flip another one with Raphael. And each time I'm doing this, it just gets more speed, more damage because of Raphael plus Confronting Jedah. We're playing probably the most important card, 3 New Empress of Netherrealms. This has a huge cost of pay 3 vitality to draw 1 card, which normally would be massive if we weren't running things like Hellfire Impalement, which said get extra damage and speed based on the vitality we've lost. If we've got 3 of these and Raphael, the first thing I do is Raphael every time that you pass. I'll pay 3 and draw, I'll pay 3 and draw, I'll pay 3 and draw. Well, now you've passed 3 or 4 times. I've taken 9 damage. My Hellfire is getting +9, plus the 3, plus another 9 off of the desperation of Hellfire Impalement. Like there's so much that we can do with this card inside of Raphael. Or if I am at desperation, this says 2 free enhances on each one of these. All at desperation, look at the top card of your deck. I'll flip and lose 3. Look at the top card, flip and lose 3. Discard. Look at the top card, lose 3. So there's 8 enhances that I got to do just on these cards. And then from here, if I want to, I could flip a different card with Raphael and then continue or unflip them with the Raphael Foundation. There's just a ton that we could do. Playing double World Without Battle. Every single one of our cards has the desperation keyword, so the enhanced flip, this deck gets +2 speed is relevant. And so this could be flip for +2 speed, and then they pass for another speed. We're playing double Born from Destruction. There's a plenty of lose 1 or lose 2 vitality. So this card either says just commit to draw a card, or it says enhance colon. There's my cost. If you have a copy of this attack and you're removing game from pile, it gets +1 speed and +1 damage. So in Raphael, maybe my card is not removed, right? I'll play the enhance. Did you have an enhance? No? You'll pass? Okay, cool. I'll play the other enhance of the other one. Oh, no? This just says 2 more instances of Raphael's twice per turn going off. We're playing double Orphan Alchemist. It just says flip, look at the top card of your deck. It lets you make sure that maybe you flip and reveal the top card of your deck. It's a 3 check. Well, now I need to make sure that my next one doesn't count as progressive. I'll flip a different foundation and then play my next one, have it not count. It's this is a little bit of a safety net. Really, really cool design. Double Hell's Reach. If I check bad, I get to ready it, as well as I can just flip and ready the foundation and give it an additional speed. It is not only playable while committed, and that is an important distinction. Playing triple Outworld's Heiress. This card lets me get to Desperation a little bit quicker as well, paying 2 or 3 life in order to return cards to their hand, as well as counts as an enhance for Raphael's twice per turn. Like there's so many instances. I'm just gonna say that on every single card. Every single one of these cards is just gonna buff Raphael's speed by a ton. So the bigger board that I can build, the more that I can like play more enhances, the crazier my From Hell's gonna be. And now I'm getting rid of the foundations to stop my From Hell play. Playing triple Most Trusted Assassin. It burns more life, more triggers off of the speed buff, and then the first form is not that bad either. There's no other first forms besides Revoke in the game or in this deck, and so looking and seeing, oh, they've got like a Flame Aura. Maybe I shouldn't. Maybe I have to bait that out before I can play my From Hell. Playing double the Azure Nightmare. It's a 6 and it readies itself so that my non-desperation From Hells are just a little bit cheaper, and I can extend my plays a little further. Playing double Arranging a Deal. Once again, it's another 6. And then at Desperation, which I'm trying to zoom to, is another enhance. This is draw a card. Playing double Uniting Rebels. Once again, Desperation, just gain a Vitality. It's another free enhance. It's also another 6. We're playing triple Face of a Monster. This card is purely a defense card. This does not actually trigger off of Raphael's ability to get that's not what this card's for. This card changes zones. It is a little bit of deadlock pressure, as well as, excuse me, I keep yawning, as well as just a little bit of speed hate, possibly losing a vitality in order to do so. This card is just a really good defensive card. Maybe because of how aggressive our deck is going to be, we might want to drop this down to a 2 of, but in testing, 3 is what we decided. Playing double Fallen Angels. This card is super, super solid in making sure that your first turn build is relevant. A lot of times people play this when they're playing dangerous checks like 2s and 1s just to build more, but there's no reason that you shouldn't play this card, especially in a deck like Raphael that wants to have foundations to be flipped. This card is now relevant inside of Raphael because after I play it and I build it on my staging area, it doesn't feel bad to flip this card, and I got the most value out of it. A lot of decks will just have this card just sit on their staging area and not do anything. Now this card is super relevant. This card actually does stuff. And then my last card is one Undying Rage. I didn't really know where to put this card. It just says commit at the top card of my discard pile to my hand if it's got Desperation or Fury. They all have Desperation, so I get to pick them all up. And so it's possible if I've got one inside of my discard pile, one inside of my card pool, I can enhance commit and then pick that card up and then use Raphael. He does not say a ready foundation. I'll just flip this Undying Rage now that I've used it and then play that next card for free. Maybe it was the 4th card in my card pool. Well, now I'm playing it just on a 4 or whatever. This card just is a bit of a combo extender. All right, so this is Raphael 2 Dot. Remember, this is Michael's Raphael 2 Dot. I'm really happy that he let us borrow this deck. So big shout outs to him. If you like the deck, make sure you check out the Campus Championship Soul Calibur DLC playlist here on the channel. And if you want to talk to Michael or anybody about Raphael 2, we would absolutely love for you to do that over on our Discord by going to patreon.com/TCGUniversity for $1. We'll talk to you all day long about these really awesome decks or any cool ideas that you have. So from all of us here at TCG University, thank you very much for watching and stay learned.